Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Bet with the Genius. And another day, another big day, and about to bring in Ham Plus Money, who's having another big week. Just real quickly, make sure you're going $1,000, $1,100 first bet insurance. Place a free wager of up to $1,100. Get it back in the form of free bet if you lose. ATS wins CZR. Make sure you're jumping on that. Look, we're winning like crazy on this show. I'm going to go over all the winners we had on Tuesday, Wednesday. And it's just every day is a wins. Make sure you're following that Max Wagers Network all day. Midday Money, Sean Higgs, Allie Burns, Morning Wood, 1 to 2. Just Parlays, Chris King, 2 to 3. Back to the window, Scott and Scott. 4 o'clock, it's me. And then at 5, game time decision, Nick, Tim, and Lenny. So we've had a bunch of guests this week. Obviously, you see at the bottom. Tomorrow we'll have Kaepernick. A couple minutes we'll have AM Plus Money. Everybody likes plus money, right? Like, subscribe, ring the bell. So every day you can see all our programming. So, all right. We're going to bring in AM Plus Money. What's up, man? It's been a big week, I think, for everybody here. I think everybody's really crushing it here. You feel like you've been doing pretty well with these picks?
Yeah, it's been going good so far. It's a pretty good week. There was a few oddball games, but what can you do with some of those lineups? But yeah, overall, the last few days have been pretty good.
Yeah, I think yesterday, Belgium beating Poland 6-1, Netherlands 2-1 was big. Yesterday, we just basically had, Adam and Rick on, and they were just talking a lot about futures because some of these games today I didn't really love, but we did all right with the U21s. Told you Croatia against Estonia. Croatia needed to win. That was 4-0. So, once again, I think there's a lot of money to be won on some of these U21 games. And, once again, right now, basically Portugal's playing, Portugal, Czech Republic, Spain, Switzerland, and then everything else is those Group 4 groups, B League, C League, some dodgy games, Bulgaria, Gibraltar, Malta, Estonia. I don't know if you're looking at too many of those. I just, to be honest, I've started to maybe go away from. I think we talked about Kosovo a little bit against Northern Ireland, but I've started to go away from some of these games that are like these teams aren't very good because I think it's just the results are a little bit wacky.
Yeah, it all depends on the team, really. Like Greece was one that I was looking at today. I stayed off
right.
Just because I wasn't sure what to make of them. They haven't been playing well recently, but after seeing today, I think Greece is definitely a team where I think they're kind of mismatched in their group. Now, I mentioned the same thing about Turkey, but completely different story than Turkey. Turkey's a team I believe probably belongs in Group B. They're probably not. They don't belong in the group that they're currently in. Now, Greece, I would say, belongs at the level they're at. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the specific group they're in, I think they're better than all those other teams. And definitely when they're playing at home, that might be a smash spot to look at, just taking Greece at home against whoever they're playing.
I think you could probably make the case too with Turkey. I think they're a little bit even, this is a team a lot of people thought were a dark horse in the Euros last year. I think you could almost make the case that they're like A-. They're like really probably like a group and a half below where they're supposed to be. And, once again, you saw them, they just really took care of business. And Greece, yeah, definitely up 3-0 here against Cyprus, big rivalry match. But so I was looking at the schedule for tomorrow. I had the Celtics last night. We talked about that referee.
Yeah, I had them too, just because I had a feeling, first game at home for Boston, they're going to win that one, and then Golden State probably takes game 4. I didn't go too heavy on it because my goal was whoever wins game 3, bet the opposite in game 4. But yeah, I mean, the Celtics was nice. I was definitely on that with you yesterday.
That's interesting. That stat with the referee, I thought was really interesting. When the one ref did the game, they were
Scott
12.
Foster.
So now they're 13-0, and I'm real. Look, once again, I didn't yesterday. I'm not saying that anything is fixed or whatever. I'm just saying certain referees call games better. Some teams play a little more aggressive. Some teams do this. Some teams aren't aggressive, and maybe the aggressive teams, when they're playing if he's letting stuff go, that's to their advantage. So I thought that was interesting, and as soon as I saw that stat, I jumped on the Celtics. I actually had them at -4 to even money, so it was -3.5. I bet it down. Bet it to -4. Bet it up. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now. Not much going on in play right now. I guess Spain is up against Switzerland, Norway, Slovenia. I don't know if you're looking at any of these live in play games right now.
Yeah, so actually I got a lot of action going right now. I'm hoping for another goal from Portugal. I was on their team total over 2.5.
Okay.
And I'm hoping I put a little parlay together of Greece, Portugal, and Norway. I know Norway already had a goal disallowed. I think it was their first shot on net of this game.
Slovenia just got a red card 2 minutes ago. So
okay, beautiful.
I would think that game probably. Let me pull up those live odds right now. I might be putting a live bet in right on our show.
It's suspended here on my screen. So I can only imagine what's about to happen. I see the odds are gone.
Yeah, it's probably it's hard. Let me see commentary.
They were -108 just a second ago at the book I'm using.
Okay, let's see if I can jump in on this here. It's probably going up.
Yeah, it's suspended, but it says the Slovenia throw-in, so hard to tell what's going on in that one right now.
Yeah, let's see.
I was also on the draw in the Spain, the Spain Switzerland, just because I only put 25 on it. It was just more like a fun bet because I figured Switzerland at home. I've seen Spain play lazy on the road before. That was one I wasn't too confident in Spain, so.
Yeah, they took the odds down. I hate how they do that. I mean, the red card was 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes. I mean, the odds should be back up.
There's a substitution now. I mean, maybe somebody got injured. I really don't know what's going on. I use Bet365, so it has all this
Yeah, it looks like they're subbing off a defender or an attacker for a defender. To try to maybe keep this. See what this Slovenia is doing here in this group.
Oh, the odds are back. So right now for me, I'm seeing Norway -163.
It's not even, to be honest,
that's not
even worth it, to be honest.
With what? There's 20 minutes, little.
Yeah, 25 probably with the red card. But yeah, it's total goals. I have over 0.5 -250. Norway next goal is -195, so they still don't have the thing up for me.
Now Portugal is suspended. I'm hoping I get my third goal here. They're on the attack.
See what we got here.
Would be nice.
Jota is trying to make something happen. I always like that on this thing. He's trying to make something happen. As soon as I see that, I'm like, yeah, it's probably a goal.
Yeah, man, nothing. They brought the odds back. Maybe it's a penalty. I don't see. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing. Just garbage.
Guida should have scored, but he missed it. So yeah, that's I just want to kind of maybe give people, that are watching this a little bit of a that ref stat is fake. Oh,
the 12-0 Scott Foster one?
Yeah.
That was everywhere yesterday.
Oh, I took it based on that. So then I'm glad they won.
They cashed.
The Celtics probably, once again, I thought pretty much the Celtics were going to win. It's interesting when, sometimes you get a game like this when it's 0-0 or it's 1-0 to the other team and there's a red card and, if you see that, maybe you want to live bet. I don't necessarily think live bet next goal, but maybe live bet the game. Like here for Norway, I mean, in the 68th minute, probably the value would be to bet them to win 2-0. Full time right now is minus 141. Norway minus 1.25 is plus 270, but so I mean you could do something like that, but it just depends. Like once again, I'm not watching the game, so like I don't know how the game is going. Like I'll always tell people, like sometimes if I'm flipping around on Saturdays and have the Premier League or whatever, and there's a red card, I'll put the game on and bet it and then watch it. But for me, it's tough to live bet games if I don't know what Slovenia could be dominating the game. I just don't know.
So. They looked better in the first half. I'll tell you that much. From what I saw, they looked better. That's why I use Bet365 mainly, but they're I like them because they have this little like soccer pitch that shows up that shows you who has possession, where the ball is going, and then it'll show you the possession of the game, the shots. So sometimes I'll live bet a team. Yeah, exactly, right. And sometimes like that's how I'll look to live bet a team. If a team, usually I'm looking for a team with 65+% possession, and they're like taking out shooting completely. Like they got to have shots on goal. If the shots aren't on net, then I'm not looking at that team necessarily, because you can dominate a game, but if you're not getting shots on net, you're not going to score. But yeah, if they're out shooting them like 5-1, and always after the 30-minute mark, I hate live betting anywhere in the first 30 minutes. I feel like teams are still trying to get a feel for each other, and they haven't really settled down in that amount of time. 30 minutes to me is like the perfect amount of time where teams are starting to settle in and you see what's going on, how maybe the match is going to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, I think I don't even know who that is. People are calling me, trying to get on. This isn't just if you're watching the show, this isn't live call-in, just so you know. I guess someone's trying to jump on the thing. I mean, maybe we could make it live call-in, but might have to figure something out.
Make it like a real radio show.
Yeah. I guess, if I do the FaceTime on my computer, I could probably maybe share the screen. I have to figure that out. But so just the thing with the live betting there. I just think, once again, you need to be able to know what the flow of the game is to live bet. Like I could tell you to live bet Norway right now 1-0, but it's almost like we try to do research when we're giving out these picks. We don't just kind of pick games willy-nilly. So just to say, hey, take it, not knowing what's going on, I don't think that's always the smartest thing to do. Bill says Morocco might be a decent live bet. Pull that up. African Nations Cup. So Morocco is down 1-0 at halftime against South Africa. And they're at plus. It's weird. They're down 1-0. They're plus 117. So, that is pretty interesting. Once again, that might be a better player. Next goal, Morocco is minus 400. So that's not even worth it. Have you started looking at the games for Friday yet?
Yeah. So I've looked all the way up to Sunday now. So not so much on later Sunday matches. There was a few big name games that I didn't really like too much, but part of the reason was I wanted to see what happened today, because there's a few that were going today. But I got a good handle on what I like for the week.
Someone just asked about, so Elliot is on the show. He says Rangers money line, only one loss at home in the playoffs. Rockies plus 1.5, Phillies plus 1.5. So he's got a bunch of bets. I know you're a hockey guy. Before we do these the Nations League, you have a feel of that game. It's the Tampa Bay being favored in New York right now is a little bit scaring me a little bit. If I was trying to bet the Rangers, I know Rangers have some injuries as well.
Yeah, so I've been having a pretty good hockey playoffs. The plays I keep giving out on this show are not doing so well. I was riding the Oilers there. I thought they'd win at least one game for a little bit. Then I did mention I was off near the end of that series. I've been pretty strong about the Rangers. I remember I did say Rangers to win game 2, Lightning, and then the spot would be to bet the Lightning in game 3. That happened. Now, I did mention in your chat the other day, Rangers in game 4. That didn't pan out. They didn't look good at all in that game. I'm going to be on the Rangers tonight. I'm just a glutton for punishment, but I really do believe the Rangers are going to win this series, so I'm just going to bet them. I'm just going to bet them in every game. And even if they do lose tonight, they're 5-0 when 5-0 or 6-0 in this playoffs when facing elimination or with the chance to eliminate another team. So even if they do lose at home, yeah, they've looked not great in the Tampa Bay games. They look pretty good in game 3, but game 4, not so much. Doesn't necessarily mean they're just going to be an easy out the door. Now, I do think the momentum has shifted a bit in that series.
Yep.
But at the same time, Madison Square Garden's a tough place to play. And you got, first of all, the fans are crazy in New York. They're literally chanting Igor's better at Vasilevsky. I don't care how good you are. When you got a whole building chanting that, it's a lot to get in your head. I used to play goalie, so I know. And Vasilevsky and Shesterkin, they're kind of the same, where obviously they're both Russian and the 2 best goalies in the league and the world right now. But they're the same in the sense where they're both home goaltenders. If you look at their goals against average and save percentage, both have been a lot better at home than on the road. So I find it hard to believe that Shesterkin's going to have another bad night. The Rangers actually outshot the Lightning in the last game in Tampa. It's just that their chances were meaningless. They had no good scoring chances, while Tampa had all the pressure on them. But I think definitely the Rangers are a live dog tonight, and I wouldn't count them out of this series just yet. I think they're going to win, and I really do think they're the only team that can stop the Avalanche at this point. If the Lightning get by, the Avalanche steamroll them in 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with that. Elliot says, dare I say Igor shuts them out tonight. LJ, who wins tonight, the Rangers or the Tampa Bay? It's 2-2. The game is in New York.
Oh, Rangers, not Lightning.
Rangers tonight?
Yeah.
Money line? LJ says Rangers money line. All right. Says plus 5,000 on Igor to shut them out tonight. Is that right? Wow.
Probably, with the way Tampa, it looks like their offense has really started to wake up now. But that's really a tough one to see. I could see this being the Rangers have shown at home that they're not afraid to open up the scoring. So I could see this being a high scoring game where they just lay waste. Or I could see it also just being an under where the totally defensive game, Igor shuts them out, and maybe the Rangers win a 1 or 2-0 game because they're great at defense and they're great at blocking shots. And Tampa's going to block a ton of shots in this game too. So it's going to be hard to get pucks to the net in general.
Yeah, I think he said he was joking. LJ, he said you're a smart kid for picking that, so good job.
He knows his stuff.
And that kid knows more about sports than most adults do. It's crazy how much he knows. I think, Elliot, I think you could probably find a line. Elliot likes the first period under. I know I just saw something for that. Period 1. Total goals under period 1 is minus 148 at or 1.5 is minus 148. So under 1, you go up always plus 170. So I'll lay a little bit of juice there, but be interesting. All right. So Nations League. Still no goal in that game.
Now you can get plus 110 for Norway.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. This starts creeping up, and all of a sudden, leaning Rangers and under, Daryl. When you start seeing that, there's going to be a decent amount of injury stoppage time because of the red card, I'm sure. So there's probably about 18 minutes to get a goal. But once again, I'm not really watching the game. If I was watching it, I probably would take it. You could, even with the commentary, It looks like Norway's still, putting a lot of pressure on. So we'll see. But all right. So Friday, which game are you looking at first?
All right. First, let's go to Austria, France. That's those two teams we've talked about quite a bit in my appearances. And I'm leaning towards the over in this game. So Austria, they ended up going over in their last one with Denmark because of a late goal. That Denmark scored, but Austria, they've been pretty good at home. So I can definitely see them giving France a pushback here. I don't think they get shut out, especially with the way that we've seen France play with these late goals they've been allowing. Plus, they're away from home here, so I always like to lean toward give the home team a little more, especially with the travel and with these countries when you're going to a whole different country. Like it's one thing to travel within the Premier League, and it's a whole other thing for some of these guys to go to a completely different country, play in an environment they're unfamiliar with. So definitely I give the comfort factor to Austria. I think they can score at least a goal on them. But France, I expect them to score in this one. So they've collected, one out of a possible 6 points so far in their last two matches. And right now you're getting them at minus 125. I'm almost even thinking about taking that number as it is right now, because from what I see as of right now, France is going to start Benzema and Mbappe and the big names, and I think they have to. I think they need to get a win here. The last thing you want to do is come out with another draw or even a loss, where now you're sitting with 1 or 2 points out of a possible 9. You're really going to set yourself back from the group. So I definitely think this is one France might look at as they have to win this one, at least get their one win and come out with some points. And if that's the case, then I would take the number now, because when the lineups are released, it's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah, like I think France, they could still obviously win the group, but I think for France, they don't need to necessarily win the group and go. I mean, it'd be nice to go and win another Nations League. They won in 2021, but they don't want to get relegated either. So they just can't finish, in fourth spot here. I think they're going to have to be targeting this win. So yeah, I think 129 is a pretty good number there. And just like you said, as soon as that lineup comes out and it's loaded lineup, it's probably going to shoot up. I just took Norway at plus 130 something.
Yeah, and I think that happened to Belgium yesterday. They were something like a plus 120 I was seeing, and then as soon as the lineup came out, didn't they shoot to like minus 170 or something like that?
Yeah,
maybe I got the opening line wrong on that one, but yeah, I definitely remember that one moved quite a bit once they released their lineup.
Yeah, this is, we always talk about, with soccer, you don't, sometimes you want to wait. Anyone like the Nationals tonight? No. Washington, Strasburg coming off an injury. First game, no good. Thank you, Elliot. When you talk about some of these Nations League, when it's a Premier League, like the lines are gonna, you pretty much know which teams have what. The lines aren't gonna move, but for these games, sometimes it's more beneficial to bet them a little bit early, because you're going to see that, like with the Belgium game. I mean, you got that huge line move. You're losing a lot of value there. Denmark, Croatia, some of these games here, Andorra. I'm not looking at those games. Slovakia, Azerbaijan. Really tomorrow, I think I don't know. Are you looking at any of the really lower league? Or are you really trying to focus on like the better teams?
So I like to focus on the better teams. I find them easier to handicap in general, but if it depends on the team. Like Greece was one I was looking at today, and after watching their performance today, I might be leaning towards maybe playing them in their group against another team. Like I think they have one more game coming up. I can't seem. I
think they play Sunday or Monday.
They play Kosovo. Like maybe I might look at that, but then again, Kosovo is, I think, laying waste to Northern Ireland, but they just actually allowed 2 goals. So who knows? That might be one to look into.
Yeah.
More. Greece at home, I might have to give that a look. That one's really close to even money. I might have to give that one another look now. But yeah, I tend to go more with the bigger teams.
Yeah, I sometimes it's just kind of it's and you could handicap those like the right way, and Liechtenstein or Andrew. These guys are, some of these teams, they're not even, San Marino. They're not, they have jobs during the day. Like, you might handicap it the right way, and then just something stupid happens or whatever, and you just end up losing the game. 1-0, there's probably not going to be a lot of games in that, but like, or a lot of goals. But, so, I mean, like Moldova, Latvia, it's just kind of tough to call. What about Saturday? Are you looking at which games are, England plays Italy?
So there was actually one more on Friday I was looking at, like the Denmark and the Croatia game. This is another one where I think it's going to go over. Denmark, as we've seen, they've been scoring a lot of goals. They just trend to the over in general in a lot of their matches, even in the Euro Cup. Even though those were on like neutral sites, they are a goal machine. They just won away from home in Austria. We've seen Austria rip apart this Croatia team, and that one was in Croatia too. So I'm not totally convinced on the Croatian defense. I know Perisic is going to be out for this one. I doubt Modric is going to be starting either. So already Croatia's dealing with a weaker lineup. I kind of like Denmark with the way they've been playing, but that might be one I want to see the lineup first. But from what I'm reading, them being at home for this match, I think they're going to start most of their guys, if not like at least a good majority, I would think. So I lean to Denmark home. I'm really eyeing that one. I might take it, and definitely the over in that one, because I think Croatia could score well on them, because we've seen Denmark allow some goals. They're not great on defense. But that might be one where Denmark just tears them open like Austria did, because this time Croatia's going to be away from home, and Denmark, they've been scoring. So either way, I could see us getting to an over, whether both teams score or not.
And you get Denmark over 1.5 at plus 106. So
now that looks like a great play then.
Yeah, if you're gonna lean over in this game, and obviously, if you think Denmark is going to win when you handicap this is probably a decent play, because 2-1 makes it go over, 3-0 makes it go over, but even 2-0, even if it doesn't go over, that their team total goes over. So definitely a decent play there.
Yeah, now that you bring that up, I definitely see Denmark scoring probably 2 goals at least in this game. So that's actually a great play, I think, because like you said, whether the game goes over or if they win, maybe it stays under and they could draw, but I could see them scoring 2 goals in either scenario.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's definitely one I think I'm going to be targeting tomorrow. Let me get rid of that. All right. My mouse is going crazy. Okay. Georgia scored another goal.
I don't think
Kosovo 3-2 now.
I don't think Norway is going to get this done.
Yeah, there's very disappointing.
And my Portugal's letting me down. I needed that 3rd goal.
Norway's got a corner.
Honestly, I hate situations like that. Like, for example, Portugal scored 2 goals in the first half. Sometimes that scares me, because like if a team like that's got a 2-0 lead over the team they're playing, like they're not going to try in the second half. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Portugal just coasted with their 2-0 lead, and I'm going to get screwed out of that team total.
Yeah, I think sometimes like you're almost like you're almost better off getting just getting in the first half in a game like that, like just getting a 3-0 and just being done with it. I mean, you're definitely better off. But,
and it was crazy because that was scoreless for 35 minutes, and then bang, 36-38, 2-0, and that was it.
Yeah, yep. Cancelo and Guidish. Yeah, and they're playing a pretty strong lineup.
Yeah, Ronaldo, Jota. So that's what I mean. Like, you look at that lineup and you think, come on, you're at home, score 3 goals.
He subbed all guys off, but he
Yeah.
brought on Fernandez and Leao, so it's
But
not.
they were on for a good 60 minutes, I would say, because
Yeah.
starting the second half, I saw them on still. So yeah, definitely. Thanks, Portugal. Love you guys.
And then Saturday.
Saturday are the good ones.
Yeah,
big
Netherlands,
slate.
Poland, Hungary, Germany, England, Italy, Wales, Belgium. That's interesting. The Belgium line at minus 124 is interesting to me because once again Wales. This is their fourth game, and one of them was a hugely fatiguing World Cup qualifier. So which and they're all. We got a 9 a.m. start in Ukraine, but which ones are you looking at here?
So Faroe Islands actually piqued my interest just because Lithuania is so bad and they're at home for that match. Now, I don't think I'm going to bet it, but that was just one that, like, if you're looking for maybe a small early action, maybe something on Faroe.
I'll tell you, they weren't terrible. I watched a couple of their games in the World Cup qualifying. I remember watching them when we were in Portugal, and they're not terrible. Like, they can play a little bit. I mean, for a small country, they're not. I mean, they're much better than like Gibraltar or one of these countries. So. You see plus 138 at home. Yeah, maybe throw them in. Throw them in with one of these. You do Faroe Islands and Germany money line. It's plus 236. So maybe just take a chance on Faroe Islands with a team like that, and you get a decent odds. Sometimes that's if I'm gonna take a team like that. Like sometimes with the Premier League, I say, I like Crystal Palace today at like plus 130. But like, I might bet them with like Manchester City at like minus 300 because if Manchester City wins and, if obviously Palace loses or draws, you lose your bet. But if, that game wins and then City wins, you get a decent, maybe plus 2 something parlay, plus 240 like you saw here. So kind of a little bit of betting strategy you can use. So are you looking at the England-Italy game at all?
Absolutely. Now, I may be a little biased on this one, but I'm hammering England to beat Italy. Still haven't impressed me at all. Of course, the one day I was on the Hungary +1, they decided they were going to show up, but they still allowed a late goal to push that +1. So it's not like they've impressed me at all. They're going to be away from home. They've had the comfort of playing in Italy their last 2 matches this break. So honestly, I don't even know who they're going to bring with them. They might leave a lot of people behind for this trip. I'm not really sure with Italy, and you're already going to get a defensive, crappy style from them. So with no striking ability. So yeah, and England, you don't think they're going to be upset after they lost a Euro Cup to Italy? Are you kidding me? This is a huge revenge spot. England back at home for this one. Now you're getting like a shell of a team you've played in the Euro Cup. If England doesn't come out, plus England, you got the situation where you lost to Hungary and you barely came out of Germany with a point by getting a penalty in the 85th, 86th minute. That screwed a lot of people. So as far as I'm concerned, England, man, you're lucky to even have that 1 point. You got to come to play today. And I think this is a good smash spot for England.
Yeah, and I think team total, same thing for England, plus 104 over 1.5 is interesting as well. The only time it's been 1-1 the last 3 times these teams have played, but once again, once was 2018 and once was 2015, so can't go a lot on those things. But if you think England might win the game pretty easily, that might be a decent play there. I know there's another, Germany, Hungary, Netherlands, Poland, Wales, Belgium. You looking at any of those?
Yeah, so the Hungary-Germany game makes me a little weary because I know Hungary gave Germany some problems in the Euro Cup, which wasn't long ago.
2-2.
But yeah, but then again, at the same time, it's a completely different Germany team, I think. Germany had a lot of their defensive problems during that Euro Cup, and now they look stronger than ever. Plus, My Galashi didn't start net for Hungary against Italy, so I don't trust these guys. Now they're at home. He'll probably play in this one because he did play in their first match of this international break. So I assume he's going to be in, but I would expect goals in that one if I had I don't have a strong play on this game, but if I had to say, I would probably lean to the over just because the last match was 2-2. Hungary showed me they can still score as bad as they played against Italy. In Italy, they still scored a goal there. I think they're going to give up goals to Germany. And again, this is a situation where I like to take overs in these situations where I think Germany could score the 3 goals themselves, or I could see Hungary scoring a goal if I have to get a 2-1 out of it. But actually, I don't even know if the over 2.5 is a good price. Yeah, you're getting -138. So that's what I see anyway. But yeah, I think at that price, it's almost like a gift for this Germany team. You don't get that often.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I know I was looking at the Netherlands Poland game, but now Netherlands is -240 in this game, which is a little bit kind of rich for me. -1.25 is -107. At that point, I might just take it at -1.5 +120. I don't know if you had more of a play on that, or if you like that Wales Belgium. I know you're a big Belgium guy. Are you on that Wales? Are you on that Belgium team against Wales there at -120, -125, something like that?
I can't trust Belgium because I don't think Courtois is going to play unless he is. But from what I've seen, I don't even think he's with the team right now. But it's tough. It's really tough with this Belgium team. They're so dependent on their lineup. And Wales, we thought they were going to do nothing. And Netherlands threw out basically their B team at them. And then late, Netherlands didn't really do much. And then even late in the game, Wales scored. And the Netherlands came right back to win that one. But Wales is a tricky team in their current situation. And so is Belgium. So I think I'm just going to stay off that one. Hope Belgium wins. Yeah, I really don't know. Especially after Belgium got their win. Maybe they look at this game like we don't need to win it. But yeah, that's a tight one for me.
Yeah. What about Sunday's games? So Norway ended 0-0.
So actually, did it end?
Yeah, 0-0.
Lovely. Love that. And did Portugal ever get my third goal? Probably not.
2-0.
Of course. So so actually, with that Netherlands game, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I would lean to the over in that one just because Poland's got to be desperate. Well, actually, maybe not too desperate for some points, but I would think after that embarrassment, they'd want to play a little better. And the Netherlands at home probably can score some goals. I know they've been trending that way. One I was really looking at for Saturday, and I think, that's the last game I'm looking at for Saturday. I actually like Turkey -1.5 against Luxembourg. So we've already talked a lot about this Turkey team, and I was going to go with the team total again in this one because
What day is that? Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Okay.
But we did say, I said in the last match, I liked that over, and then you brought up the team total to me. And I really liked that with the last match because Turkey should have won 6-0, and that's exactly what they did. So this is exactly the team we thought they were. They're way mismatched in this thing. And I think even playing away from home here, I'm staying off the team total because maybe they don't rack up the goals as much, and they might rest some players with this one being out of the country, and they've already won 2 matches now in a really bad group. But Luxembourg is not good. And there's no way I see Turkey, they got to win this game at least 2-0 or more than that. So I think the -1.5, you're getting a really good line on that right now. So I think for sure Turkey can at least win that one by 2 goals.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a play there, and something that, once again, we targeted the other day. And let's see if I can pull this up. There it is. All right. And then Sunday, we got I don't know, Northern Ireland, Cyprus. A lot of these games are games that are just finishing now, so it's the lines are out there. You got Portugal, Switzerland, so it's early lines. Maybe these will change, but any of those kind of catch your eye there?
Yeah, so one that actually caught my eye. Oh, there it is. I was wondering where it was. It's already moved. This was at even money when we started the show, and I'm seeing minus 134 now. I guess based on their performance in today's match, I was eyeing Georgia at the plus money price at home against Bulgaria. They just beat Bulgaria 5-2 in Bulgaria. And Georgia is a really good team at home. They've been in great form lately. I think they've won, not including friendlies, they've won like something like 4 straight or 3 of their last 4. They've been playing very well. And even at home, they're a very good team. Even when I've seen them play some of these more powerhouse teams like the Denmarks and stuff like that, and they lose, but they don't get destroyed 6-0 like some of these Lithuanias and Luxembourgs. They lose like maybe 1 or 2-0. I've even seen them come out with a draw. So considering they just beat Bulgaria and they're at home, I really did like Georgia in that one. But the line is already moved like 30, 40 cents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And Bulgaria had beaten them 4-1 last year, so or in September last year, and then Georgia just beat them 5-2. So yeah, that's an interesting line. You still basically get them around even money, but once again, don't wait till Sunday if you're really looking to jump on that. Like that's kind of a game I would jump on pretty early. I know Monday's games are mostly before we're on. I don't know if you looked at any of those or just really focused on the weekend.
I only looked up to Sunday mainly because some of these even Sunday matches hadn't really got played yet.
Yeah, that's the thing about these lines on Monday. It's I don't know, Denmark, Austria. Like you don't know what's happening tomorrow. In some of these, you want to see today and you want to see tomorrow and see what happens.
Exactly, and it's not a sport like baseball where you're playing every day and like it's so heavily dependent on the pitching matchup in some of these games. Like it's tough to know. Like in a baseball game, you could tell me who's going to win tomorrow, or you could give it your best shot before even the game gets played today. In soccer, I find that a lot tougher because like a team could have a complete collapse, and then you could start to notice problems. Maybe they're having defensive issues, like Manchester United throughout the entire year. People kept thinking they were going to get it together at some point, and it just never happened. So like it's really tough to know.
Exactly. All right. So basically, that's the Nations League through Sunday. Did you have anything more or to play, or those are pretty much your main ones?
Those are my main ones. Like I said, I need to look at like Spain and Czech Republic. I might just stay off because I didn't really like the matchup. And Switzerland and Portugal. Portugal, I feel they've gotten their 6 points now, and they're going to be away from home here. So maybe that's a fade spot for Portugal. Switzerland, I think they just lost 1-0 to Spain at home.
Yes.
So yeah, so they're not. They obviously didn't get destroyed like I thought they would. My draw didn't pan out, but they stayed in there. And I think if Portugal is going to rest guys like Jota and Ronaldo, that might be a Portugal fade spot. But that would be the only thing I would look at for Sunday for the rest that we didn't cover.
Bill just said Morocco tied it in the 54th minute, I think it was. So still let time that. Lex, what's up? Lex, man, you guys start coming on earlier, man. You're always at the end of the show, man. Come on earlier. What's up? Of course, you could always listen anytime you want, so it's not really that big of a deal. But unless you want to ask questions, obviously, then I can't help you. But you remember we got all the shows every day, basically from 12 to 6, and then you got the total chaos, and then make sure you're liking, subscribing, and all this stuff so you can keep getting some more shows. Once again, once the Premier League starts, we're going to be having the Saturday morning show. I'm going to be having all kinds of different things. So there's Lex crying because he always forgets, man. Always forgets. But yeah, remember, I'll be on ESPN tomorrow night. Make sure you listen to that. And oh yeah, and then next Thursday, before you come on Thursday in the morning, I'm going to have a Premier League schedule release show. I think we're going to do it like around 9 a.m. It's released at 4 a.m. and my time. I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock to do a live video, so I don't think anybody's going to be watching it. I'll wait to see when I wake. I'll wait to wake up and get a little awake before I do that. But I don't know if you're excited for that. The La Liga's released the week later, and all this stuff starts happening now. That's next week, and then the Champions League games start. The Champions League qualifiers start the following week in the Europa League. So we'll have a lot more games to talk about, and actually some like club games and teams that are actually going to try and maybe not like these games. So all right, so that's it. That's our show for today. Remember, tomorrow we got Kaepernick on any MLS. I don't know. Is there any games?
Yeah, so they played last weekend and they played this weekend, but I think I mentioned it on my first appearance on this show. I don't look at the MLS games during this time because there's international going, and like if you're any good, you've been called from your MLS squad. So there's no way I want to touch some of these teams without their best players in the lineup. Or it's just I mentioned it. I hate how MLS they like to say F you to FIFA and they don't want to obey their schedule, and then they wonder why FIFA doesn't want to give them any leeway back. It's like a constant tug of war. And I found out more information on the Canada thing that I told you about. So they ended up not playing their Panama game because of a contract dispute about funding for the team. Apparently, there's been all this money that was supposed to be put away for Canadian soccer programs, and that money is just like non-existent right now. And the players are asking for way too much to play the games. So right now, they're training, but the talks are so far away. I don't know what's going to happen with this Canadian team. The only reason they're even training right now is because I think FIFA or CONCACAF, somebody threatened them with fines and started to say you might lose your spot in the World Cup if you're making teams like Panama and Honduras fly out and then not playing the games and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's not right.
Hot water right now.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. So, we'll probably talk a little bit tomorrow with Kaepernick's MLS guy. So we'll probably get you some lines tomorrow. But there's only the 3 games, and once again, like I don't know who's playing, so it's going to be a little dodgy. So, all right, so that's our show for today. AM Plus Money. Follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of plays. Some different ones sometimes from the ones he's on here. And then he'll be back again on Monday next week to talk about the 8 million more Nations League games. It's like the longest international window in the history of ever. So
you know what? I was actually shocked when I saw it still going to the weekend. I was like, isn't it supposed to? Because I was going up to Sunday and I was like, shouldn't it be over by now?
It's crazy. They're doing two. It's usually supposed to be 2. They're doing 4 games. 4. They're playing 4 games. It's like it's out of control, man. The season just ended. Give these guys a break, and then it's going to start again as soon as this is over. They got to report because, it's out of control. There's going to be a lot of injuries, I think, and stuff. So, it's crazy. But all right, so that's the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again, AM Plus Money. Go follow him on Twitter, and we will see you tomorrow.